Abijah was evil. It says he walked in all the sins of his father. That's a euphemism, and we will find that in several places here as we go through the history of the kings, where that term is used. He walked in the ways of his father. He walked in the evil ways of Jeroboam. It means he was an evil man and an evil ruler. He was a showman. He was a showman. The New Testament word for that is hypocrite. Did you know that the word in the Greek that we translate as hypocrite is actually the word that was used in classical Greek to describe an actor on the stage? It's the same word, an actor. And that's what a hypocrite is. They're just acting. They're just putting it on. And that's exactly what Abijah was doing there in front of Israel. It was a show. It's not where his heart was. But wait a minute, Pastor. But then didn't it say the Lord gave him a great victory? How does that work out? How does that work? You know, there are a lot of actors in this world. And they're not all in Hollywood and New York. And they're not all on the stage. And they're not all on TV. They're not all on YouTube. There are a lot of people acting a certain way that can give us the wrong impression of who they are and where they're coming from. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, we might find that there was time or two in our own lives, perhaps, when we were actors in a situation, maybe for a period of time, dealing with a certain area of our life. We're not really carrying out where our heart is, but instead, we're acting. We're putting on the show. This is one of the greatest show places. Church. Did you know that? Man, a lot of people, I don't mean anybody here, but I've been in other churches where people, it's like, my daughter Kayla, years ago, when she was in college, I think it was her freshman year, she joined this organization that was related to the great fights and stuff. I forget what you call that, but she called it submissive grappling was what she did. But it's the same thing as on, if you watch on Spike TV, the guys that get in the cage and repeat. It's the same organization, and it's the same stuff. And it was just so much out of her character as we knew her character, and we're like, "You're doing what?" And she was up in Erie. You're doing what? Really? And on the one hand, we're thinking, okay, my daughter's away at school. I'm not there to protect her. Yeah, learn how to, tear somebody's eye out, or, if necessary, and in love. But so we went to see one of the competitions, big, huge competition. It was actually up in Canada. And we got there early, and we had to go separately from our daughter. She got up there, and we got there, and so forth. We got there early, wanted to see her beforehand and stuff, and we saw her, and she's got her gi on, the robe that they wear. And my daughter, some of you know her, but she's like her mother and I, very, very blonde, and she's got her hair in cornrows all the way through, and she's back in this was taking place in a school, I think it was. Yeah, it was a school, in the gym of a school. She was back in this hallway, and she was going, "Arr! Arr!" Like, what's happening to my daughter? I was worried about what was going to happen to her mind. This is. And when I talk, and she goes, "I'm getting my game face on, I'm getting ready." Arr! Arr! And that's what a lot of people do when they go to church. They put their church face on. It's like almost on the drive to the church. Okay, I know things have been really bad, but I gotta be that happy person, So that when I go into church, gosh, you go to church with other saints, and you don't want to look like you're having any problem or any issues, and so you go in, and there's Dwayne, there's Marilyn, there's Sylvia greeting and giving you a bulletin and say, "Oh, good morning." They say, "Oh, good morning." And inside, you're a mess. And you're crying out to God and saying, "God, please hear the cry of my heart." but on the outside it's this. That's not the way church is supposed to be. Jesus got reprimanded by the Pharisees one time because of the kind of people he was hanging out with. And he said, it's the sick who need a doctor, not the well. It's the sick who need a doctor. Church is a hospital. It's a place for us to come and be healed. And so it's full of both healthy and sick people. That's the way God intended it to be, so that the sick can come into the hospital and be attended to by the doctors and nurses and technicians, and that God can bring spiritual healing into their lives. And so when someone walks in the door and, man, you know what? Where'd you get those clothes? And have you bathed in the last week, 2 weeks? That should not be the expression on our face. But the expression on our face should be purposely, more so than the people we see here every week, seeing them and reaching out and going, hey, hi, my name's Kevin. Who are you? What's going on? Where are you from? What's going on in your life? And to be open and loving, to be able to be the hospital that God intends the church to be. I submit to you that there are some indications of when someone, including ourselves, is becoming an actor, is becoming a showman. And so I came up with 4 of them, 4 signs of a showman, 4 things to look out for. The first one is form over substance. Form over substance. Did you notice that when Abijah was talking about his defense of how great Judah is, and you bad people from Israel with those golden calves and priests, just whoever can afford it, but we've not forsaken the Lord. He's our God. And then how does he defend it? He talks about how they take care of the temple. He talks about it. Every day we're sacrificing. Every day we've got incense burning. Every day we've got those lamps burning. Levites are in there, and we've got the right people in there, not just anybody who can walk in and, pay for being able to do these sacrifices. We've got the right people there. That was his defense. He talked about the form and the ritual of their religion, but not once did he say, we follow Jehovah, our Lord, meaning our master. We seek his will. We follow him. We are following in his word. What Abijah basically said was, hey, our religion's better than your religion. You got these little golden calves, man. We got this temple. There's all kinds of gold in it. All kinds of neat ceremonies and rituals. And we've got a heritage of priesthood that goes back hundreds of years. But he wasn't talking about what was important. Flip over to 2 Timothy chapter 3. New Testament, bunch of books to the right.